this illusionary type of concept because this color is what's messing up everything. You see what I'm saying? And they had color movies before they had color TV. They had color movies in the 40s. You see, so this color is why this color makes it it gets you deeper and deeper into the illusion. So these are some things that you need to pay attention to. So we know that this new thing that they just met, it ain't about no censoring no doggone TV set. You know, we know it's not censoring about no TV set. Now, let's see what else on the hard copy. You know, I don't know if somebody might can tell me give me a up to date, but I know recent up to last week, Texas didn't have no rain in 1996. Texas. I don't know if some parts had rain, but I remember on the news last week or week before last, they said it was no rain in '96. You see. 6 tornadoes at once, though. You're right. I remember that too. You see. Also too, they have this particular new phase that's going out to these white people, and it's a lot of it going on since this particular energy, especially after the heat wave. A lot of white people are turning on their elderly parents. You see. A lot of white people are mistreating their elderly parents, like if the parents are like bedridden or shut in, sick and shut in, they're doing all kind of stuff to them. You see what I'm saying? Like I had one guy, he let his mama lay on one side for like 3 months, and just trash and everything was all covered over her behind. You see, so they're turning on their parents and stuff, so they're literally going crazy. Also, too, I wanted to give you this too. And this is funny, because Nike's shoe company made a bet. They had a bet going on that they could make a Bozo the Clown shoe out of a spat. Anybody know what spats are? So they made a Bozo the Clown shoe out of patent leather, and they said, we guarantee you we can sell this Bozo the Clown shoe to the public. And all they did was put Michael Jordan on it. And it's the damn new Air Jordans. Look at it. It's a Bozo the Clown shoe. But it's a Bozo the Clown shoe. So that shit came off of a bet. It's a control monitoring thing, just the same thing what they did with the Jim Jones thing, where they said, well, let's monitor and see what effect can a white preacher have on black people, and we'll take them all the way. And one of the keys of the graduation is see whether he can kill them or not. Well, it's the same thing what happened with the Nike type thing. You see, they could have did any kind of shoe and put Jordan name on it for all the more effect. They put this thing with this patent leather. See, the young people don't know, because they just like in the animal box. So can you imagine patent leather? That's some damn Fred Astaire tap dancing shoes. We're talking about patent leather on a sneaker. And even though we look at it, you might go, oh, that's the new Jordan. But if you really look and instead of just looking and really just think, because now we don't think no more, and just think, it's a Bozo the Clown shoe. That's what it is. 10 years ago, they wouldn't have been able to sell it. You see what I'm saying? They wouldn't have been able to sell it. But see, the people are so crazy now until they could put this stuff out, and it was off of a doggone bet, and now this shit is #1 seller. You see? They just run this stuff on us because they can do this now. And like I said, the masses is at the free will of the white man to do what the hell he want to do. It's just like cattle. You see what I'm saying? Just like cattle. Also, your boy Bill Duke, which made probably one of the greatest dope movies in the history, the movie Deep Cover, with Larry Fishburne. As if you notice, after Deep Cover, he did the Rage in Harlem in '91, and in the next year he did Deep Cover, and Deep Cover was a success. It was a movie success. But you've never seen him in anything else. He had to go back and do a little scene in Minister Society. He had to go back to acting. Because Bill Duke produced these things. He hadn't been in anything else because he let out too much. Because when you really deal with that movie Deep Cover, the movie is kicking behind, and it let out too much to let you know that not only was the white boy behind it on all levels, but even the same doggone police is behind it. You see. So what happened is they penalized him for that, and he's not been able to do any movies since. You see. Also, too, now, one thing is happening, too, is this. Now, remember, well, two things. Well, first of all, you got to be careful if you know, brothers say, like, I just want to get a little marijuana and sell it. You got to be careful now, because what's happening is this. First of all, we're not growing this stuff. That means the stuff is coming into the country. Now, if I'm bringing something into the country, I got a paper and a pad and a pencil, and I can calculate wherever my stuff is going to. So don't just think that you're receiving something. I'm telling you that basically you got to watch out now, because some of the people that you buying it from, they have already cloned those particular people, and those people are implanted and cloned and everything else. And so when even though you say, I'm just going to sell a little bit of money, I just say the marijuana thing because we figure, you know, ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of marijuana. You know what I'm saying? But like but naturally, you know the crack thing. So what it is, as soon as you pick up the package to sell, your name goes into a list because the actual marijuana that you're selling is government marijuana. So it's not as if there's any dope in this country that's independent from the police department and the government. So you are automatically on a list when you start selling this stuff. So it's not like you say, and so what happens is, so, well, you know, I've been selling for 5 years. How you say that? No. First of all, they let a couple of people sell for 5 years, or they let a couple of people sell and all, because what it is most of the crew, they'll let that crew exist until they're ready to haul that crew into jail and put a new crew out so they can make money off the crew. So this thing is set up and all, and it's more advanced than what you think. So don't think you're getting over on this government and all. They know every person that uses their product. From the day you pick it up, they got your name on the list. And don't think you're getting over. The only reason why you don't go to jail is because, you understand what I'm saying? Is because they have to have a certain amount of people with the stuff on the doggone streets. You see? So that's the key is, right now the dope thing is, if you smoke a little bit, well, cool. That's, you know, you grow your own or whatever you want to do. But I'm trying to say, even down to the marijuana thing, what you're thinking, all of that stuff is now government property. And they know exactly where all their property goes. So you got to be careful on that particular thing. Yeah, it was correct. Now, let me explain what's going on. They understand by studying us that we have progressed through the years through our music. Our music is the only thing that acted as a medicine to keep us sane in an oppressive world. So, just as the music goes to certain levels, because they understand our music is metaphysical. And our original classic called jazz also started from voodoo, of the New Orleans Vaudou Society that fused in Vaudou rhythms into the same Sousa band music of the Europeans, where they just had this straight European marching band music, and they fused it, and they fused in this particular music, this Vaudou music, and made jazz. And based on that, jazz is also the focus of both funk, rap, because that's a form of scat, which is the bebop, on into any kind of music, as well as rock and roll. You understand? And also blues is also a form of that, which would be the essence of the soul part. So now the key is that the music would progress to a certain level. And it's the music that is metaphysical. So as a result, they cut out, basically, black music. As a matter of fact, since 1990, you haven't heard any new stuff. Because, first of all, rap, although rap being an art form, rap is voice. But the music under rap is old sample music from the 70s.
60s.
And the 60s, or whatever they can get their hands on and speed up or whatever. So the key is, although rap is a fine art form for certain, but for the only thing that you hear on radio now is rap and a little bit of slow songs is ludicrous. You see what I'm saying? It's got to be a combination of several disciplines. And as a result, most of the stuff you hear now in the rap is old music, that they come out, they use a lot of, all this stuff. You say, when people say, oh, this sounds so good, I'm like, well, I can't get into it. Why? I said, because I got that in my album collection. And I want to hear something new. Although I love old music, I'll go play the original version, which is better. So the key is, but there's no new music being made since 1990. Now the key is this. In order to not let you progress, if you have memories of the 70s, or memories of the music that was made back then, although it is positive, if the new music is coming out that's current on the radio is that of the 70s, and you're supposed to be going into the year 2000, you see what I'm saying? Then you're not progressing. And it can keep your mind on a certain level. Now, it's interesting because Prince had a fight with the record companies because he wanted to produce the kind of music that he wanted to produce going into the 90s, but they wouldn't let him do it until he just got cleared. George Michael who won the night, and I'm using him as an example because he was one that battled with the radio station. Although George Michael is a white boy from England, he won the Soul Album of the Year 1988. But George Michael said that they also wanted him to stick with the Wham thing and stick with what sold at that particular time, but knowing in actuality if he didn't progress his music, they were stopping everybody that they had to battle with. And basically, all soul artists and stuff, basically in the 1990s, they just basically destroyed that particular music. Now, as a result, what has happened here is the music is stagnant right now. And basically, although the art form is good, but if you're anyone over damn 18 or over 25, it's good, but it's not enough. Because really, there's no good music out here. As a matter of fact, it gets to the point whereas it's actually annoying sometimes to even listen to things, you see what I'm saying? And it will give you a headache. And the reason why it will give you a headache is the simple fact that it is because in the recording studios, the major recording studios, there's a door, and they have a guard with a machine gun guarding that door. And that is because this is the actual place when you make your recording. When you make your recording, they go in and they put the undercurrent stuff up under there. That is stuff that is subliminal seduction that drives the black man and black woman crazy. And this is why you got killing and stuff going on. And if it's not killing, it's just negative attitudes and different things. And the reason why that is because they're using to program you through the music. You understand? So therefore, if you listen to any new music, and it don't have to be rap, it can be the slow stuff that's out now, because it's not really good slow stuff. If you listen to it, you can't take it, but so long, it'll give you a headache. What's that?
I just wanted to say, Bill Fulcrum says in terms of listening to the radio, anything less than 100 megahertz is antagonistic to our memory.
Right, so you know, and everything is set up that particular way. It's just like in Atlanta, the projects are painted with a high beige yellow. The projects. And knowing based on certain colors, although they might be beautiful in certain things, but to live in this high intensity yellow all the time, these colors are so violent until they tear you apart. And so there's several colors that they pick, just certain colors that they pick in most black places, like you said the welfare center. And they do that, and it's to drive you crazy. So but the actual projects in Atlanta are these high colors to drive you crazy. Especially in this particular time, because like I mentioned, the guy Ola Coon is Ola Coon. You don't hear of Ola Coon. You hear of the 7 African pilots, but you don't hear a lot of Ola Coon or Oshosis. But Ola Coon is the Yoruba version of Osiris that is chained down at the bottom of the ocean. Osiris